Hello my friends, Amy Esther here, and in today's video I want to share with you about brain fog and some of the things that I do to help with my brain fog because it is pretty bad. I have multiple chronic illnesses. You can learn about them all in the links in the description below, as well as all over my channel. I make videos about life with chronic illness multiple times a week, and I have the worst brain fog. It is so bad, and I get questions all the time from you guys about how I deal with it and what to do about it. So let's talk about that today. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you've been here before, if you're brand new, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you live with brain fog and other chronic illnesses, you're definitely going to want to be subscribed to my channel. I make videos about life with chronic illness multiple times a week that you do not want to miss. So make sure you're subscribed and turn on that little bell notification so that you don't miss when I upload a new video. All right, brain fog, you guys, not a fun thing, and just honestly, it's a weird thing. I don't know why it happens to us, but it does. So I did a little bit of research on brain fog, and it's not technically a medical condition. It's not even a medical term from the research that I did. Now, disclaimer, I'm not a doctor. I'm just someone who suffers from brain fog and sharing my advice and tips and things. So consult your doctor if you have any questions. But it's not a medical term, like a technical medical term. However, I think a lot of us who live chronically ill have used this term and we know what it means. So I looked it up, and WebMD says it's a term used for certain symptoms that can affect your ability to think. You may feel confused or disorganized, or find it hard to focus or put thoughts into words. So that, I think, is a good definition of what brain fog is. For me, it's mainly trouble with memory, so I just forget things all the time. I just am always forgetting things. I forget why I walked into a room. I forget what I am doing. I'm in the middle of a sentence. I forget what I'm saying. I can't remember where I put anything. I am just so forgetful, and my husband makes fun of me because I burn everything that I cook because I always forget about it. So yeah, I should probably set some timers there, but I'm just very forgetful. Other things for me are I have a lot of difficulty concentrating. So anytime I'm trying to do something like, for example, write the notes for this video, my mind is going like 10 different places, and it's so hard for me to concentrate on what I'm doing, especially as a mom, because I have my kids and I have all these other stuff going on that are important, that it's hard for me to focus on things that I need to get done or that I want to get done. So difficulty concentrating is a big one for me. And I have a lot of disorganized thoughts. I always say the wrong word. So if I am talking to my husband and I'm thinking I need him to get my water, I'll ask him, hey, will you get me the refrigerator? And it'll just blurt out of my mouth. Like, I realize that I said the wrong word, but it's like my brain is slow to catch up on that and like catch it in time to not say it. So I always will say the wrong word, or I will just get mixed up and like I can't think of the word. So I'm like, I need the water. Like, I just like, it doesn't come to my brain very fast. And I actually used to be a teacher. I was teaching high school math, and one of my most clear memories of teaching was I drew a triangle on the board, and I literally could not remember the word triangle. I'm in front of all these 16-year-old kids, and I can't remember the word triangle. And I'm looking at it. I can do the complicated math. I could do the Pythagorean theorem. I could solve for X anywhere it is. I could do a math proof, but I could not think of the word triangle. And that is kind of like the greatest example to me of brain fog. Like, I can do the math, but I can't think of the word of this shape that I've seen a million times. I heard someone say once, it's like thinking through mud, and that is totally how I feel. It's like, it's just a little bit blurry. It feels like there's just this blur through my head of what I'm trying to say, and I mean, really, a brain fog. It's a fog. There's a fog around my head. I forget what I'm saying mid-sentence, and I just forget everything. And another thing that happens for me is if I'm in big groups of people, I'm really quiet. And it's not that I don't want to talk or I don't have things to say, but I can't think of what I want to say before someone else says something, if that makes sense. Like, I'm thinking, oh, I have this story that would go perfectly with what we're talking about, but I can't get the words right in my head. And so I usually just stay silent, and by the time I figure out what I want to say, it's too late. Someone else is already talking, the subject's changed. So I feel like I'm always behind in conversations. Let me know in the comments below, how would you describe brain fog and what things happen for you? Because it's just such a weird thing, and it's really hard to explain, especially to people who don't experience it very often. I know everyone, you don't get enough sleep. I think everyone's had moments of brain fog, but all day, every day, it's hard to explain to people, and people always think I'm really quiet. Like, even my husband will always say, why don't you talk more at family parties? Or like he'll try to get me more involved, but I'm nervous. Like, I'm scared to mess up. I'm scared to say the wrong word. With my husband and people I'm really close to, it doesn't bother me. I just say the wrong word all the time. But when I'm in those like situations with new people or with a big group of people, I feel really uncomfortable talking because my brain is always a little bit behind. So let me know how it is for you guys, if you guys feel the same way I do, or if there's something else that you would describe, another way you would describe brain fog. So now let's talk about how to deal with it. What do we do when we experience brain fog? So the first thing that I found that helps my brain fog is to just treat my chronic illnesses. So the best way that I can. So for me, the things that seem to give me the worst brain fog are when I get dehydrated. So I'm always drinking water and having extra salt and electrolytes to help keep me hydrated, because I have a condition called POTS. I'm not going to go into the details of it, but it helps me a lot to stay hydrated. And I think when I'm not, because of my POTS syndrome, that I get extra brain fog. Like I kind of mentioned before, sleep I think is huge. And as someone who lives in chronic pain and has chronic anxiety and all those things, it's really hard for me to sleep. I really struggle with that. And I find that when I sleep better, I am a little more, like my brain is a little clearer. And the nights, many nights when I don't sleep very well, I find that my brain is a lot foggier and it's a lot harder. So if you can find a way to sleep, that would be amazing. You can teach me how. Another way that I treat my illnesses that helps my brain fog is exercise. I think exercise just kind of helps everything. And it's really hard when you're chronically fatigued and you're in pain. I get that. I understand it. It is hard for me every single day. Not that I exercise every day. I do my best. But when I exercise good, it seems to help my brain fog, as well as yoga, meditation, things that help with stress. The more stressed I am, the more foggy my brain gets as well. Okay, more tips for dealing with brain fog are to focus on one thing at a time. I find that my brain is just constantly going a million miles an hour, and so it's just so hard for me to focus on one single thing. Like I mentioned, writing this, I think this is a great example of writing my notes for this video. I had a really hard time focusing because I had so much I was thinking about. I'm like, okay, we're moving and we have this going on and my kids are napping, and what if they don't nap very long, and and I'm like, my brain is just going 10 million times an hour. So I just said, okay, I'm just going to write notes for this video. I'm not going to think about anything else. And I just kind of have to keep redirecting my brain to what I am doing. And I found that if I tried to multitask, it's too hard for me. Like, there's certain things I can multitask, like playing with my kids while I clean up lunch or something like that. I can multitask. But when it comes to things I need to concentrate on, like writing notes for this video, I cannot do more than one thing at once. I can't think about anything outside. I can't have my kids with me. I need to be just all alone by myself, thinking about this one single thing and just stop trying to do it all. I just need to focus on one thing at a time. Next tip is to write things down. I have a planner with me all the time. If I don't write it down, I forget. Sometimes I still forget even when I write it down, but writing it down or putting it in your phone or an online calendar so that it is written down and you do not forget, because I have to check my calendar every day to see what I am forgetting. I have my planner with me. I personally like handwritten stuff, so I have my planner with me all the time. And something I used to do that would make a mess is I would put some things in my phone, I'd put some things in my planner, and then I would tell myself like, oh, I'll write this in my phone, and then when I have my planner later, I'll write it down. No, I would never do that. I would always forget, and then I'd have 2 different places for stuff, and I'd forget things. So I found that just having one place where I put all of my calendar stuff, so either that is on your phone, or for me, I like having it handwritten. I decided I'm only handwriting stuff. Every once in a while, yes, I forget my planner or something because, brain fog, and I don't have it with me, but I will set a reminder on my phone to put that thing in my calendar on paper, if that makes sense. So just always putting it in one spot is very helpful, which reminds me to talk about phone reminders. So like I said, I will set reminders on my phone sometimes, but anytime I have a big event, I always set a reminder on my phone so it goes off that morning or a couple hours before, depending on what the event is, so that reminds me. Or I'll ask my little Alexa Dot thing to remind me, because like, for example, I'll let my dog out and then totally forget to let her back in. And so I've started telling my Alexa, remind me in 10 minutes that, oh, there's a reminder right now. Literally my phone is going off right now with a reminder. It says yoga time. It is reminding me to do yoga. So I'll finish this video. Oh, I'm going to forget. I got to set another alarm. If I don't set another timer, I will forget to do yoga tonight. That's the truth. So I'm going to set another one. And after this, I will do my yoga. But like that, I set reminders in my phone. Even things, I do yoga every night. Okay, every once in a while I miss it. But I try to do yoga every single night. And even though it's something I do every day, I still forget. Like, I'm telling you, if I don't reset an alarm right now, I will forget to do it. And then I'll go to lay down to go to bed and be like, oh yeah, usually right before I get to bed, I do yoga and I forgot. So set phone alarms on your phone. Oh my goodness. Okay. Next thing is declutter your house and organize your space. So I have a couple decluttering videos. I love throwing stuff away and organizing things. So I have lots more videos of that coming out for you. If you're watching this in real time, we just moved, and so lots of organizing and decluttering videos will be coming of the new space. But I found that when I'm more organized in my space and I have less stuff, there's less stuff to lose, and everything needs a space. I liked everything to be in its place, and I know where it is, because if it's not in the same place all the time, I promise I will lose it. My next advice is to get off social media as much as possible, and anything that distracts you. Like maybe you watch less TV, watch less YouTube, except of course my videos. Just kidding. But get off the internet, get off things that distract you, because when you have a hard time concentrating and you feel very foggy, and you get on social media and you're scrolling, that is just like contributing to the brain fog. And I find that then I'm comparing myself to other people, and so my brain is in a different spot when I'm trying to work or I'm trying to be with my kids, and it's just not helpful. So actually for me, I got rid of my smartphone and I now use a dumb phone. So it has a calendar, it can call, it can text, it can take pictures, and that's about it. And I love it because I would get so distracted, and I just found that my brain would enjoy scrolling through social media more than it would being in the moment, because in the moment I was so scattered. And when I was on social media or scrolling through Pinterest, it was like I could focus on something, but it wasn't healthy and productive. It was just making me feel crappy about myself. So I just got rid of it altogether because I don't have a lot of self-control, and I found that even when I tried to set myself limits, I still just got on it. So I just got rid of it. That brings me to my next point, which is to stay in the present. to spend time here and now and stop trying to escape your thoughts by going to things like social media and movies and things that kind of distract us from our distractions. You know what I mean? Like, you're like, it's like the only thing you can focus on. So try to be in the present more and try to focus on what's going on around you rather than the things that kind of force you to be focused. Does that make sense? Probably didn't make sense because brain fog and my words aren't coming as I'd like them to. So the next tips I want to talk to you about are for other people when you are dealing with others, because that can be really hard because other people might judge you. They might think you are dumb. I've had comments before of, just people, I know they weren't meaning to like be rude, but I have had people almost like act like I'm kind of dumb because I can't think of the word or I say the wrong word or whatever. And so my biggest advice is to stop caring what other people think about you, because they're not going to get it. They're probably never going to understand it. And stop trying to make people understand it, because they probably won't and they probably don't care. If it's your spouse, then maybe do your best. But I found that when I just allow others to have their judgments about me, I allow them to, think I'm quiet, that I don't want to talk, or allow them to think I'm not very smart because I can't say the right word. I just allow them to have their thoughts and feelings, and then I just take care of me. And I just remind myself that it doesn't really matter what they think of me. What matters is what I think of me. And I think I can be smart sometimes. I think that sometimes I say the wrong word, and that's okay. Which brings me to my next tip, which is just laugh at yourself. Like, what if instead of it being this huge deal that you said things wrong, or you can't think of words, or you are slow to a conversation, like, what if you just laughed about it? With my husband, I can totally do that. I still struggle a little bit with other people, especially bigger groups, of just feeling kind of uncomfortable because I already have some anxiety, so that's on top of it. So that's something I am working on, is to laugh about it with other people and be more open about it. But I find that it helps a lot to just make it a joke, like make it funny, and instead of it being this serious problem, it becomes more of this just funny part of life that happens, just like other funny things that happen. Why can't it just be a laughable moment instead of a frustrating or stressful one? I just don't take myself too seriously. Like, really, it's funny. And sometimes I think about some of the things I've said, especially in public or to strangers or something, where I'm just like, oh, Amy, I can't believe you just said that, or I can't believe you didn't say something in this moment. I just try to not take myself too seriously and laugh about it and allow other people their thoughts and their feelings and just go on with my life. So those are my tips for you for brain fog. I know it's not going to take your brain fog away, but I hope you know that someone out there is also dealing with it. If you could share with me any of your tips of how you deal with brain fog, I'd love to hear those in the comments below. And thanks for joining me for this video. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss my next video, as long as I remember to post it.